Hey, how's it going, YouTube? Making another video. Got some pretty interesting topics to talk about. Some info for you guys. Want to give a shout out to Nick, Subliminal Ghost, one of my subscribers. He's been, keeping in touch with me. We talk about the symptoms, anxiety, how it affects affects anyone, rich, poor, old, young, black, brown, white. Affects us all in different ways. And what I want to talk about is about the symptoms of anxiety. A lot of people don't know the symptoms. Well, people usually think a panic attack is anxiety, but really, anxiety is created by stress. A stress of an unwanted thought, an unwanted visual from the adrenaline, going through your veins, that it dilates your pupils and it's more sensitive to objects, the lights and the objects, which I have. But after a while, you get to really adjust to it and know that it's just your anxiety, And well, there's a lot of symptoms. My main symptom was my upset stomach, nauseous. I lost 30 pounds. Not be able to stop to get those thoughts out of my head. Not being able to sleep. Some visual stuff too, like, wow, the world seems more like dreamlike. Well, all this is caused by the adrenaline and the other glands in your body that are used for your fight or flight, that just courses all the adrenaline in your body, and it just makes the part of your brain that it controls anxiety go haywire. It's like your brain has the hiccups, basically. But one of my other pains is a stiff neck, tension headaches, fatigue, especially fatigue, man. Like, I used to be able to do all kinds of stuff. Like, I was thinking about it today, before anxiety hit this year, this is the worst I ever had it in my life. I only had two or three big panic attacks, but the after effect was just gone right after the panic attack. This time I had a panic attack, and it was like, a long aftershock, after the earthquake that just kept on going for months and months and months and months. But before this, I used to, last year around this time, I was having fun. I was going out to the bars every week with my girlfriend and our close group of friends. I used to just chill, drink a couple drinks. Well, it really, drinks really work for anxiety, because it calms you down. But alcohol could fuck you up, just your whole insides, But I drink occasionally. I used to love going to bars, and I was thinking, damn, man, anxiety's really took a hold of my life. It was keeping me from doing things. Like, in the beginning, I was so agoraphobic. I was not able to leave my house's yard because I was scared that if I left the yard, something bad was going to happen to me. And I remember the first time I went to the supermarket, I almost cried because I was able to do that, and for months I couldn't ever do that, so that was a big accomplishment for me. But anyways, before anxiety hit, I was always having fun, going to parties, playing beer pong, usual stuff. I used to go to Vegas 3 times a week. 3 times a year, It's only a 3-hour drive from where I live, and just go out there for a week or a weekend, stay in hotels, live off of room service. And I take a look at it, and I'm like, I cannot let anxiety stop me from having fun, It just can't. I want to go back to Vegas, I remember the first time I went there, I was so amazed. I used to go there. I remember the first year I turned 21, I went there 5 times. Stayed there once for 2 weeks at the Venetian. Couldn't beat that. But yep, can't let it get in your way. You gotta go on. You can't let it stop you in your tracks from progressing. Also, I was been experimenting with weed. A lot of people, send me messages saying, how could you smoke? It makes your anxiety worse. But these are the rule of thumb to live by when you have anxiety and you want to get high. First, make sure you get enough sleep the day before. Like today, I haven't smoked because I only had like 4 hours of sleep because long day. So I didn't smoke today because I know when I don't sleep, my anxiety level is higher, and if I smoke a little bit more, it could pass me to the panic threshold. Where I start panicking. So be well rested. One, eat, good meal, their vegetables and shit. Three, you want to meditate. I meditate for 5 minutes doing deep breathing, I do it like 3 times a day. Really helps with anxiety. And 4, never smoke when you're having a bad day. Because when you're having a bad day, it brings on so much stress that it could cause more anxiety, Like, I don't know if you guys ever did acid, but I did acid a few times actually in my lifetime. And the person, I remember when I used to do it, the guy used to tell me, before you do it, better make sure you don't have a bad day. You're going to have a bad trip. So I made sure to do it only when I was in good days. And when I had good days and I did it, it was like the best, Like, it was like the best. I mean, acid is, I think, opened my mind to a lot of things. It was good, but I suggest that if you do responsibly. So those are my words to live by: smoking weed. And don't smoke too much. Like, I smoke about 1 hit. I don't hold it in my hits. I blow it out, but I smoke some bomb, So it hits me good. But never smoke a lot. The more you smoke, the more you would start getting those thoughts, start the whirlwind pattern. One what if thought becomes another what if thought. And that what if thought becomes a body symptom. And then that what if thought becomes what's wrong with my body. Then from the body, it goes on and on and on and on. So that's how it creates anxiety. So, rules to live by. So, get you guys probably next week. See what I'm doing. I'm actually going to start growing hydroponically now, which I'm excited for. Of course, I'm going to get videos of that. Alright, so stay up. I'm out.